Oh my gosh. I didn't wear any of my merch, Jules. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I wanted to wear this Buccaneers hat, man. Dudes
That's a
on
good
dudes.
hat. That's a good hat too.
See, dudes forget a lot of things, man. That's why we always love to have a bro next to each other to remind each other. And we forgot the picture as well, once again. So get his picture up here. Oh my God.
No, Sherm's on here.
Oh, I thought that was George Kittle still.
Nah.
All right. Sherm's up there. See? Dudes on dudes, man.
I think defenders
just broing out too much and forgetting things.
Don't you think defensive guys with dreads are like, does that not like, that looks like the Predator to me, man. Like they're search and destroy. It never intimidated me. It never intimidated me, but I'm
sure, Jules, it never intimidated you.
I just thought
you're bringing it up. You're bringing it up.
But I always thought it looked fucking sick.
It does look sick. You look good.
Let's get on to our next guy.
He's got some skinny legs. I think that's what made him so athletic.
Fast.
Those people with skinny legs, those corners, they're just so fast, and they never get tired. That's why I always got tired and was like, no, Jules, you run this route. Like, if the ball's going to you, my leg's like way too thick.
He would do that.
And by the way, man,
I would take it
like,
too.
As a bro, as a friend, like, how am I looking?
You're looking jacked, bro.
Like, I worked out this morning for this episode.
Look at that.
Man. I got my.
But you never not look jacked.
I know.
You know how Camille never not dancing?
You're
never not jacking.
Look at that. Look at that, baby. Should I show you a six-pack right now?
Let's see.
Good. I'm feeling good, guys.
Put your dong away.
As a dude, you got to flex.
God.
How am I looking, Jules? Oh, look at that, baby.
How?
Yeah,
you still got it.
Dude. I'm just being a dude, okay? That's all.
Sit down, you big old dude.
Trying to be like Dola. Dola is ripped, man.
Dola's like playing Patrick Swayze right now on Dancing with the Stars. Let's go vote for him, everyone.
More ripped than you?
Yeah, he's Cutter.
Oh.
He's Cutter.
Oh, you said that.
Let's get on to our next contestant.
Right. Who's our next guy?
Absolute legend. We'll start the clock in 5 seconds after I say who he is. He's just a man's man. Our new teammate, someone that we've all looked up to.
You're right. He's not a dude. He's a man.
You can't call him dude. So this is dudes on man.
Yeah, this is dudes on man.
Howie Long.
Howie Long.
What does the Howie Long AI say?
Howie Long has a huge slong. Whoa. What the heck? What the heck? AI. Inappropriate. Howie Long would be like, geez, you guys are just characters.
He would.
You guys are just characters. Always just,
he always
chopping it up.
He always says, just keep being you, bud.
Yeah. He would love that line.
He would.
Even if he has a small one, he'd be like, thank you.
Yeah, I don't know if he does.
No,
you don't got a last name.
He's got a hammer.
Yeah, he's got it. He's Howie Long,
that's what
bro.
Dudes talk about. He's a man.
He got a chin that hits you in your face.
He produced 2 huge NFL sons.
Huge.
Like
first round O lineman, first top 10 pick, Chris Long, D lineman, Kyle Long, O lineman. Kyle Long played baseball. It's just a fucking. They have champion sperm.
All right, let me get to AI.
They have champion sperm.
He does have championship sperm. Howie Long was a dominant defensive end in the NFL, known for his powerful pass rushing ability and strong run defense. He played primarily for the Oakland Raiders. Who was his second team? I thought he was an Oakland Raider.
LA Raiders.
LA Raiders?
LA Raiders.
Wait, then that's still the same team.
AI.
That's really weird.
Fucking AI.
Really?
They're not there yet.
2 different cities. He might as well have played for the freaking Las Vegas Raiders.
Yeah.
At this point.
I think he's associated with them. He could still, he looks like he can still play.
He should be the Raiders owner, not Tom. Just kidding, Tom.
Yeah.
We need you as the Raiders owner because then you'll be like really rich and then you can get a yacht and Julian and I can come on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you can give us like cushy scouting jobs for like $1 million a year.
Yeah. We love you, Tom.
Yeah, we love you too.
Howie's not the owner. You're the owner, Tom. We need you, buddy. We hang out with you more. So we need you to be the owner. And maybe if we need a job in the future. That's what dudes and dudes do. If you're a bro, you like one dude always gives a job to their like bro. Like
that's a triple D. That's called daydreaming duding.
All right.
Dude, daydream.
We're back.
All right, we're back.
We're back.
AI.
where he earned 8 Pro Bowl selections and was named to the NFL's all-decade team of the 1980s. 80s decade. When I was born in 89, so
86.
Wow. He probably sacked a guy and got our mother's pregnant from such a big hit. That was awful. Awful take.
But knowing Howie,
Yeah.
Probably not. Howie is a stand-up guy.
Yeah, knowing Howie, you're right.
He
Stand-up
definitely
guy.
wouldn't.
He goes, yeah. Our parents just got so just turned on from his sack. From his sack in the 80s. That's why we were born.
It's a bone-crushing sack.
Yeah. Because my dad's a big fan. Big fan of Howie Long.
What dad is not a fan of Howie Long?
I think our dads got so turned on from Howie Long's hits that we were created. They made us.
It very well could be. This is when Howie was balling.
Long was known for his athleticism, intensity, and versatility, which allowed him to excel both in rushing the passer and defending against the run. His impact on the game and his leadership on and off the field solidified his reputation as one of the premier defensive players of his era.
I mean, we threw on the highlights. He's just nasty. He's like the guy you send in. He's like a bomb squad guy. You know, you send Howie in, but he doesn't wear armor. He just goes in and does it with like his teeth. You know, like you send him in there and he'll do it like some shit that no one wants to do. He'll get the job done. He's so intense. He was like, and you could see it when he played. He so powerful. He knew the game of football. He was a really smart football player. He looked the part of a Raider with the bull ring. He was like one of the original dudes that wore the bull ring. Like that was like hard nose. Any kid in Pop Warner when I was a kid that wore a bull ring was like, that dude eats cement. And that's what fucking Howie, I think I literally saw him at Fox once in between games that you guys were doing. I saw him take a teaspoon of cement when with his coffee. Like that's how manly he is.
This guy, if you're going in a back alley and you're about to brawl, you're about to take on 10 other mother effers.
Yeah.
And you're by yourself and you had to choose one other guy to go in that back alley, you bring Howie Long with you.
100%.
And then guess what? You would just sit back because he would take on all 10 of those guys and fucking whoop all their asses for you.
But then I think afterwards he would sit them down and tell them where they need to work on their fighting skills. And like he would sit there after like, you know, giving them like a rag for the nose that he just broke from some dude. Like he would sit there and he'd be like, yeah, buddy, like you gotta be smarter than that. You can't go against, you know, while like looking at his surroundings. I remember the first day I met him on Fox. You know, we had a dinner the Friday before, and it's my first show, and I'm a little nervous, and so I had to dip in at the dinner, and I thought no one saw. I had a little baby dip in. 2 days later, we had our first live show, and Howie was in there, and we had a production meeting where we were with the big show, the other show, and all of a sudden, Howie came in, didn't say a word, pulled out a tin, put it right on my thing, put one finger and just slid it to me and give me a head nod and just walked by. That was the first interaction I ever had with him. And it couldn't have been any more Howie Long.
He might be one of the greatest guys I've ever met. And I don't think it's talked about enough is that he might be the best role model, you know, out there in NFL history. I mean,
He's up there.
The guy's been through it all. He grew up in Charlestown, Massachusetts.
He's an orphan.
Yes. So, you know,
he's a fucking orphan. He's like the movies.
He's got that, you know, that Boston hardo in him. Like he takes no shit at all. But let me tell you.
Then he goes to Philly at Villanova.
Yeah.
And gets a little that more East Coast assholeness.
All-American man. He has great kids.
Great kids.
They grew up to be first-round NFL players.
Do you remember Chris?
I remember Chris, man. Great guy. Loved him in the locker room.
Loved him in the locker room. He'd always be holding court in his little section with Ninkovich. Like him and Chris, like him and Ninko would be sitting there. Ninko would just be sitting there like marveling at Chris because Chris was like so paid and had a sleeve and he was a white dude that had swag. Ninko would just do anything. You remember those?
Ninko copied everything Chris Long did.
He was Chris Long's shadow.
Everything.
Because like by that age, you know, Ninko has been like institutionalized by the Patriots where like any outsider, he's like, oh my God, this is what it's like.
If you had a problem or situation in life and you needed an answer, you would hit up Howie Long.
100%.
The guy's been through everything from A through Z in life, Just a great role model overall. Very positive guy.
Yeah.
When it comes to crunch time, he's right there on your side. Has taken me under his wing at Fox. His knowledge for the game of football is through the roof. If you have any questions, he's there to give you answers. And then he doesn't care if you give him the credit or not.
And he's fucking great looking too. Look at how jacked he is in that goddamn
Still looks
movie.
the freaking same as he did when he was playing.
I want to say he's got top 3 chins all time. Top 3 chins. Coward's one, Coach Coward, Howie, Brady's got a nice chin, but like this is like Brady's like pretty chin.
I never looked at
this. This is like when you used to draw up like old
I never looked
action
at,
heroes
I
in
never
like
looked
1980s and 90s. You know how they were just big grown men with huge chin, like the cartoons.
Yeah, I don't look at chins.
Look at that's just a man.
Yeah, that's a man chin. You're right.
And he had the best flat top ever. He still has it.
What about that neck roll that he played with? Does that neck roll make you more badass? It kind of reminds me of James Devlin. Like he was more badass when he had the neck roll on.
Neck rolls definitely give you 2 points on hard assness.
Mm-hmm.
2 points for sure. Who else do we have? Eric Dickerson had a good chin. The all chin team.
No, not the chin. He had a neck roll. What about Brian Bosworth?
Oh,
what about his neck roll? That was pretty badass.
Tom Rathman.
What about Mike Allstott?
Fucking gnarly.
Ultimate neck roll. Ultimate player.
What about Kent State Golden Flash Jack Lambert? Ooh, I think he's a bunker guy. I think he's in a bunker. I don't
even know what Kent State is.
No, I've tried to get in contact.
What's Kent State?
They call it, some would call it the Harvard of the Midwest. I don't know if you ever heard of it. But yeah, neck rolls. Howie Long, he's a huge part of that, like old school guy that had neck roll, made you look tough. And he's Hollywood. He's been in movies. Like his story about like he stopped doing movies because it just was too much. He told me that. He's like, yeah, you know, I just needed more time with my family. They kept on sending me scripts. I was like, man, Howie's so cool. He's like, fuck them. Fuck that.
He's a great family man. And that's why I said, if you have any questions about life, you ask Howie Long.
And he
has the right answer every time.
He really does. In any situation. What kind of dude is Howie Long?
Well, he's a loyal dude as well. I mean, he's the first one. He started the Fox gig with Terry Bradshaw and Jimmy Johnson. He's been there for 31 years now.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Fox pregame show, and it's just an honor to just be a part of it. A little ounce of it, just to be with those guys. I mean, it's incredible.
Without a doubt,
what they have done. They transcended post-career after NFL.
100%. They've given an example of how, if you want to get into this industry, how you got to do it. You know, with not just their on-camera chemistry, but the way they freaking prepare. I get to be a fly on the wall watching them in between shows, watching you get ready. And those guys he's just a stud. And exactly what I just said, he's a stud. He's a freak. Yes, he's a freak of nature. He's got the dog in him. He's definitely a dude's dude.
He is a dude's dude.
But when
locker room guy, he's a wizard as well. I mean, this guy literally is all 5 categories. And that's why he's so successful in life.
What do they do with the Kentucky Derby racehorse come? What do they do? What do they call them?
They stud him out.
They stud him out.
They stud him out.
That's what fucking Howie Long is. He's a stud. Like when you look at a racehorse.
And it was a proven stud too, because he produced 2 first-rounders.
2 first-rounders. Like when you look at a stud, a horse, Howie's the human version of a racehorse.
AI even knew he had a huge slong. Did you hear me read it at the beginning? Howie Long has a huge slong.
Did it really say that?
Yeah, it really said that.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I think he literally could probably win the Kentucky Derby.
He could.
Because that's how manly of a man he is.
When you called his son and talked to him on the phone, Chris, what did he say about Howie?
Chris said he's a fucking stud.
So he's a stud.
Stud.
No doubt about it. Stamp it. Stud.
Stamp stud.
Stud muffin.
Our first stud.
No.
I don't know.
Tony Gonzalez was a stud too.
Was Tony a stud too?
Yeah. Different type of stud.
Different stud.
This was like a badass stud.
Tony's
like a smooth stud. Yeah.
He's but both studs.